War is never just a headline or a tactical map. It is a fundamental shift in the trajectory of human history. As we look at Lesson 1 of our strategy, the core message is simple but sobering. Think carefully before going to war. In military theory, war is defined as the ultimate gamble. It decides the survival of nations and the livelihoods of millions. A commander's true goal isn't just to win, but to do so without bankrupting their nation or sacrificing an entire generation. Take, for example, the Russia-Ukraine conflict. When Russia launched its full-scale invasion in February 2022, the initial assumption by many in the Kremlin was a special military operation that would last mere days. This brings us to our first pillar, economic and human affordability. The state must be certain it can see a war through to the end. Russia found itself locked into a long-term war of attrition, facing unprecedented global sanctions and staggering loss of military hardware. On the other side, Ukraine faces the total reconstruction of its infrastructure. Both nations prove that once the dogs of war are let loose, the wealth of nations drains faster than anyone ever anticipates. Beyond the math of bullets and budgets, a leader must ask, is this war just? A just war provides a moral framework that must sustain public morale and international support. In the current conflict, Ukraine's defense is viewed by much of the world as a struggle for sovereignty and survival. This moral clarity has allowed them to maintain a steady flow of international aid, a resource just as vital as ammunition. Approach the study of war as a profession. Excellent military leaders don't just show up. They dedicate their lives to the study of tactics, logistics, and psychology. They understand that going to war without considering every possible outcome, from the first shot to the final treaty, is a recipe for catastrophe. In Ukraine, we've seen how professional expertise in asymmetric warfare can level the playing field. It's a reminder that being an expert in the elements of war is often more important than having the largest army. Before the first boots hit the ground, the war is often won or lost in the mind of the strategist. Never start a journey if you haven't mapped the way home. As we conclude this first lesson, we are left with a singular haunting truth. War is an irreversible act. Once the sword is drawn, the world you knew is gone forever. In the modern theater of Ukraine, we have seen that quick victory is often a mirage. We have seen that the true cost of conflict is measured not just in rubles or dollars, but the decades it takes to heal a scorched landscape and the generations lost to the soil. A true student of strategy understands that the greatest victory is the one that achieves its goals without the ruin of the state. If you find yourself in a position of leadership, remember the pillars we discussed today. Affordability. Can your nation survive the cost of a long war? Justice. Does your cause have the moral weight to sustain the hearts of your people? Professionalism. Have you mastered the art, or are you just playing with fire? To study war is to respect its power to destroy. The professional strategist is not the one who is eager to fight, but the one who is so well prepared that the enemy chooses not to. As you move forward in your studies, carry this thought with you. The most powerful weapon in any arsenal isn't a missile or a tank. It is the mind that understands the consequences of using them.